Yo, YouTube, we back with a video. We're going to be reacting. The COD Pod just dropped episode 6. Apparently, this is like the final episode for the season, which makes sense, right? Because, actually, I don't know if that does make sense, because it would make sense from CDL-wise, because Champs is in a week or two. But obviously, the game still has to be supported till November. Or maybe not supported, but like, the game's still going to be active till November. So, I don't know. Apparently, it's the last one they make, but that or for this season. So I'll probably start another season, like still in Black Ops 6. I don't know, bro. Unless they're gonna focus on BO7 for the next like season or whatever, which probably might be. I don't know. That'll probably be how they reveal stuff. I forgot. COD Pod is gonna be probably where they drop trailers and stuff moving forward. Everybody's waiting on COD Next and all this other stuff. PlayStation showcase, which is where we got our first trailer, but I think the next trailer will probably be on COD Pod. But yeah, let's peep this. I'm gonna start
for mature.
Spinning head kick.
Oh my god, French.
I'm so mean. Ow, my back. Who's this? Ow.
Hey, it's
Damn.
me. You're probably wondering how I ended up here.
This guy's trolly, bruh.
Ow.
We've got a show to do.
Miles, right?
I just need a minute.
Actually, no, that don't sound right.
Welcome back to COD Pod, the official Call of Duty
Oh, it is Miles.
podcast. It's episode 6, and we've got a barn burner for you today. Lots of the
Too loud, huh?
to get through, and a brand new set.
Does that sound loud?
Lights on.
That's right. We are actually at the Activision Central stage here in Los
BTS,
Angeles. And this is
finishing
one of the
moves,
places
Blackout
where the
7 teaser
development teams
secrets.
across Call of Duty are bringing the game to life, capturing real live human motion and performances for our state-of-the-art animation.
I'm gonna be honest, I might skim through this for like the
we
stuff
really
that's
are
not
behind
like
the scenes today, and we're going to learn how
What a
some
me,
of
I
that
guess.
magic is made with our guests today. And yeah, we have absolutely been grabbing
because this
fake
BTS
firearms,
for
swords,
finishing
like the
moves.
knuckle duster thing over there,
It's
baseball
kind of
bats,
cool,
all
but
the
like
things
I
you've
don't know.
seen.
I just like actual
Yeah,
content,
it's
bro.
we're gonna have
Like
a lot of
gaming
fun. We
content.
might even get a little hands-on later. Stay tuned. But it's really exciting. We have 3 guests joining the show today, all awesome. So Miles Leslie from Treyarch is going to join us to talk about a new game.
New game, eh?
Oh, what's that? What's that you say?
What's that about?
And then we
BO7.
have Phil Lozano, McCall Vega joining us to talk about this stage, about what they're doing at Treyarch, about bringing the animation and capture into the game, bring us behind the scenes a little bit. There's so much work that goes into this process of bringing this into the games, and we're going to learn all about it. So it's going to be great.
Yeah, I can't wait to pick their brains and get some fun stories out of them. But let's just say that this episode, we truly do get hands-on, folks. Much more of that later on. But Steph, yes, you'd mentioned this before, but we announced a game. I say we, you guys announced a brand new game. What's up with that?
We announced a brand new game. Black Ops 7 is
So
officially
this lady is actually
coming
part of
later this year.
Activision.
It's out in the world. Could not be more excited that we can finally talk about this game. Not too much about this game, but like I said,
Someone
we're
needs to
gonna
tell this lady
get
to
into
fix
it
the
a little
CDL,
bit
bro.
and hopefully
Trolling,
have
chat,
some fun
obviously.
conversation with
Obviously,
Miles
it's not
and
on
set
her,
the-
but I'm trolling.
set the record straight on a few things
Our
for
cannon
people.
master. He did a great job in the previous episodes of setting.
He did, yeah.
Setting the record straight on.
People always
many,
blame
many
Activision, and I'm just
things in
like,
Black Ops
Yeah.
7.
obviously tying her
But there's
face
lots
to
unpack,
it to be
that we
trolling.
And we got the
saw.
mailbag. So
Of course, and the teaser.
Q&A,
And
and
the,
the-
yeah. But so much happened in that teaser at the Xbox showcase coming up. So we're going to.
I wonder what she would say about anything CDL related if she even knows what's going on.
Masters themselves.
let's lock and load. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
I am so excited to finally talk about Black Ops 7, and we've got a very special
Oh,
guest
there he
from
is.
Treyarch joining us today.
What a go.
Because Treyarch and Raven are back at the helm of this game and this campaign, so I can't wait to hear more about it. Miles Leslie,
Well,
welcome
Raven.
back.
I am super excited to be here to talk about as much as I can for Black Ops 7.
As much as we can,
Yeah.
right? You joined the infamous now 2-time COD Pod returning.
I'm waiting for like a
guest Hall of
patch
Fame.
or something.
Yeah,
You get a
we gotta
mug at
get-
3.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
you
like,
have to-
well, I brought my card where you guys punch. so-
Yes,
okay. all right.
you may earn a free coffee at some point.
That's the only reason I came.
A
We
card
wanted
is
to sort of,
crazy, bro.
Miles and Stephanie breakdown of the official teaser that we saw at the Xbox showcase for Black Ops 7, and then we were like, "Who wants to listen to that? We got one of the experts." So
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm super excited. There's a lot inside of this tease. There's a lot of speculation. People have been theorizing. We love to see the response from the community has been super positive, and all the fans and new fans that we've seen talking about it get engaged with it. And we've packed so many.
Mob of the Dead in
into it.
Transit.
You found some of them.
Oh, nice.
But not all of them. And we're not going to spoil all of it today, but I do want to give, I think, more of the sort of intention.
I wonder what we haven't found, but it's got to be campaign related because I feel like people
guys when
saw
you're theorizing.
everything else.
And we've been watching a lot of the YouTube videos, the other breakdowns out in the community.
Yeah.
And to your point, I think there's some things that others may have missed.
And you guys have also gotten a lot right as well, which is amazing. So
yeah.
Okay, so what is the first thing that we're going to be seeing in the trailer? The very first thing.
So the very first thing we see
guild.
is we come to the doors, right? And this door has a symbol on it. I actually want to start there. Is this symbol is super important? This is the symbol of the guild, and the guild, as people have talked about, is something we established in Black Ops 6. The reason I want to talk about it is because it's a
Black
shield,
Ops 6.
and this is really important to who the guild is it represents their protection and security that they're bestowing onto the world. And this is really important to who the guild has become, but also really important to the story and what they are trying to do. We obviously see what is a guild robot. Now, this guild robot has a lot of functions,
Ethan,
and
chat.
we'll get into that when we go through the LED
IW.
hallway. But we wanted to showcase all of this was that it felt very different. I think that, this isn't your typical Black Ops game, but, feels Black Ops once you see the whole thing. And then the other thing here, which is really important, again, is when you hear the atmosphere, it's very zen-like.
Yeah.
Serene.
It's very serene. And so
Running water.
this was
Vibe
on
shit.
purpose to almost welcome you in, right? And you get the contrast of the green behind the robot in this contrast of organic and machine. And so there's a lot of symbolism throughout all of this. This has
Yeah.
been really important to us that a lot of people have picked up on, but really want to accentuate.
A lot of motifs, a lot of symbolism. I think that we're gonna
There's a
want to
lot.
get to on the journey here. So
Let's do it.
All right, we start down the hallway here.
That's right. And then obviously the big thing is there's a butterfly.
Yeah.
That is a quick glimpse. And really this is when we start to show you that what you're seeing, right, they're not making sense together. This is when we start to really crack into that. Is like, why is there a butterfly here? That's the main question we want people
We're
asking.
indoors,
Like,
right?
This is weird, right? Like it shouldn't be here. And that's sort of the breadcrumb overall. So we'll see the guild robots and all the good they're doing
Saving
across the
children.
world. Yeah, the image on the right is them giving aid, working
Okay.
on sort of ground zeros across the world, saving children where they're needed overall, so they have multifunction as well. The whole area, again, and we really thought intentionally about each of these spaces, this was really important, is now we've come to what we call the sanctuary, is it's big, it's open, it's bright.
David Mason face reveal.
And then we reveal David Mason, which you wouldn't know he's David Mason until the end, but now
Yep.
everyone knows he's
Yeah.
David
Yeah.
Mason. We are really excited about
Yep.
this because
New character,
we've got
new,
Milo,
actor.
who is now David Mason, and we really wanted to make sure with this story that we got someone that could capture the nuance and really the emotion. This is a David Mason story with him and his team, and so there's going to be a lot of him dealing with what's happening inside and outside.
I have had the pleasure of seeing some of the footage of Milo
Oh yeah.
on set, and he just looks badass.
I think he understood the significance of who David Mason is to us, but also to fans, and he wanted to do justice to that mantle. And I think when players experience the story and what he's bringing to it, I think it's going to be special.
Well, and like you said, that this is
I don't know,
David
chat, how I feel
Mason's
about this new
story,
actor.
so it's set in 2035.
Yep.
This means that the world is kind of reeling from the events of BO2, right?
Oh yes, yeah, and that's a big part of it is 2025. And I'm not going to get into what's canon or not for that ending. We're going
Not today,
not today,
folks.
not today. Sorry, we're going to get into that. But there's lots
thought
of
they already
Easter
did
eggs and
that.
there's lots of theories on that people have talked about, which is exactly what we wanted. But yeah, 2025, the world was burning, right, based on those events and how David is dealing with that, how the world is dealing
Right.
with that, and all of this is really key to the story. So then our little butterfly friend shows up again. And this is this sort of idea of, again, we want to draw the viewer's attention, but also David's attention now is what is going on, right? Like this isn't right. Something's off here. When we put in the robot.
Wait, I
we
was
captured-
thinking right now, BO6 is technically after BO2? Or technically after some of the events in BO2? The flashbacks in BO2, BO6 is after, and then this game is after the ending of BO2.
him actually on this stage, which is
I
funny.
guess.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I love
is
hearing that.
he does a little bow with his head. And so this is important, but it's significant because he's talking to his maker. Right?
Yeah.
He's presenting Emma, and she is as the CEO and part of this. And so
Yeah.
it's like we wanted to demonstrate that and not
He's
feel
talking
too
about
mechanical, because
Cortana.
there's some humanness to it, which is really interesting. It was really important how they walk, right, and how the Guild of Robots
Very
walk.
gracious
Is like if you.
and-
So we welcome our visionary, and this is the first time we now see Emma Kagan, and she is projected hologram. Emma Kagan is a really, really cool character.
And her character design, I just have to say, when I saw her, I'm a big fan of Kieran Shipka as a
Oh, yes.
performer. So I was very excited to immediately recognize her, but also this character design. Just so cool. The hair, the tattoos, it just screams sort of postmodern to me.
Yeah.
So
You nailed it.
I'm
Yeah.
so excited.
I've seen the guild shield tattoo design now.
It's like there's a relationship,
Yeah,
and
it's
that's the
cool.
sort of key to it. And so when
It's a
we were
gang chat.
crafting Emma, and
Gang
you're right,
tattoos.
is,
Imagine.
when we were conceiving her into this world, we wanted her to feel different than other characters. She's got her own perspective, she's got her own attitude, and she's got her own background. Like Emma has some simple sort of background, as she went to MIT when she was 16, right? She is
A prodigy.
she's a
yeah.
prodigy, yeah. And so it's like computational economics and robotics is like, this is her world. And so now she's giving sort of the mission statement of what the guild is about, right? And she's talking to David, right? And think of this almost as like they would do tours, right?
Yes,
So it'd be like
yeah.
a group of people, and it'd be,
Are they positive?
you'd be excited to come and join and hear about this, which is really,
I
really
wonder why he's
exciting.
there.
And she talks about all the good they're doing, of course, but
He's
then
getting
you know,
recruited, maybe?
it's a little bit different here, because now we're seeing different types of technology, right? And,
Yeah.
And how they're using this in the world, the story is going to get into, right? You can use your imagination on some of these. And a lot of the key words that Emma is talking about with protection and security, like those are important words to the guild, but also to your earlier point, the world that we're in and the conflicts as well.
As a fan looking in there straight away, my brain went, streaks.
Yep.
Score streaks, right?
What? What are you talking
What are
about?
you talking about?
I'm glad you call it that out. Is again, we're really trying pushing hard, and BO6 we
Miles,
did
bruh.
this across more connectivity across the game, from the campaign to multiplayer. Is you're going to see these in a lot of different ways, and we're really excited when players experience the technology.
Better not have
in the
none of
game,
this
because
weird
that
shit
was
zombies,
intentional
bruh.
from BO6 to BO7 to get that time jump, but also get that when we're going to 2035, you feel it, and it's going to be in your hands, and you're going to be able to really control that in some interesting ways.
Yeah, we got to shout out Dog, because I think we see him.
Yeah, we see his name
We
at the
see
end.
him
Yeah.
in the end, which was a little treat.
Yeah,
Oh, I
haven't
didn't
seen
see
this
the
dog, but,
name,
came from
bruh.
BO2 is
Dog.
the dog is the evolution of the claw from BO2. So that was sort of our big claw robot drone, and this is an evolution of that as well. Now our little friend is back, and he glitches through Emma, and now David, like us,
Finally.
what the hell is going on?
Is that Cortis
Something
died?
is
The
amiss
butterfly?
Something is
with this whole situation.
really,
yeah.
really off here. And so he tracks this butterfly, lands on this LED screen, and this was a really key moment for us, because this is when we wanted to really twist all of this, right, and flip it on its head. Is what you're seeing may not be what you think you are seeing, right, in true Black Ops fashion. And as soon as he touches, it fractures. And this is super important, right? One is, and I haven't seen people like call it out here, is like the cracks are turning red. It's a small thing and a small detail you might miss, but that's important. What does
You
that
could barely see
symbolize?
them turning red.
Again,
Am I tripping?
will be something through the story, which is huge overall, but it fractures.
So talking about the motifs and the symbolism.
Oh,
this
there it does turn red.
Fracture, this
Nice.
shattered, glass image, reality, whatever it is, we're not sure. But this is something that we've also seen in BO6.
Oh yes, yeah. When you talk about Prestige Legend, right, is all of those rewards relate to BO7, and so we've crafted BO6 and BO7 together. And every single one of them, from Eric Samuels coming up from BO2 to all of the rewards, right, on the gun. You can have the fracturing. Is we've been planning this and seeding this for players, and I didn't even
realize that.
Silent Whisper is. That has significance to the whispers you're hearing here. Is like everything that the team has put together from BO6
So
and BO7 has been
Prestige
really
Master
fun
level
to
1000
see, and the
rewards are
fans picking
fractured
up
like
on it, and
this
there's
stuff.
more in there as we've gone through. Is like, now go back and look at those rewards.
Yeah, go grind Prestige.
Yeah, go.
There's time.
Yeah.
You've got time.
Yeah, grind Prestige, but look at those rewards, and
Yeah.
you'll see there might be new theories and new connections.
Little connection there. like I said, you guys have just
I'm almost there,
been laying this
Chuck.
out for
900.
us
Yeah,
little
this
breadcrumbs
we
all
really have.
along.
I think,
The
and
whole
this
time.
this is important. Is I think some fans don't realize that
Yeah,
as well.
Oh,
they
nice.
are. It's all connected.
It's all
Miles,
connected.
to go back to the original sort of ingredients list of what makes the Black Ops campaign, can we expect similar sort of ingredients or feels in this one?
Oh yes, you know the sort of the world underneath the world that we talked about right
Yeah.
last time I was here. All
For a
those
deeper
key
dive on
signature
Black Ops.
things are in here, and it's really we've dialed up some, hidden others, right? And then it's like you're using those ingredients in really fun ways, and the team has had a lot of fun. Again, building BO7 and BO6 together to play off each other.
I've heard you guys say
That's
gloves
interesting.
are off.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm
Sometimes
hoping that
it's gonna be
BO7
like,
was the
"Why
main
would we-"
game they were
That's
working on and
that's
not
actually might be
BO6,
too crazy
meaning
for
the
us.
BO7 had more support and
Is
stuff,
there
quote
Yeah, he
unquote,
says,
better
that?
game.
have we gone too far?
But
Well,
I
speaking of
I
crazy,
doubt it.
Okay, let's
see
keep
where,
going, yeah.
let's keep.
Not that BO6
So
was a
the
bad
world
game.
cracks, and I do
BO6
wanna
is cool.
pause
I
for
just
one
want
second.
like a really good
Emma,
game.
this hologram.
Like a generational game again, bruh.
What does that
BO4
mean?
generational,
There's
BO3
a
generational.
significance here
BO2
that we're laying down with
generational,
it, but
bruh.
again, it's these smaller details.
Then we have what?
Because the
Cold
robot
War.
doesn't look, but Emma does.
BO6.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so
We're bursting.
it bursts, and like us, we are now David, sort of first person here, and it's super bright as we come in, and this is when we start to pause here. Is like one is we start to hear these whispers.
Is there a guy right here?
And there's been a lot of theorizing on the whispers. I'm going to talk about that. But if we talk about this scene, and I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is, but I will tell you the intentionality behind it is it's cold, and it represents sort of the cold hand of death. And what does that mean for David, right? And for the world he's in, plays huge significance to it. And the
David's
different elements.
experienced a lot of death.
He has experienced
you
a
know,
lot of
in
death.
his life, and so I could see how this would be, you know, now
His
that you're
dad
saying
dying,
this,
Chuck.
gonna
And
start
then
to make sense
whoever
a little
died
bit.
on the mission that was
Yeah,
canon.
the key
in
thing here
BO2.
too, and to your point, and this goes to some of the whispers, is there's death that's been around David, and there's death that's been caused by David.
Right.
Mhm.
And I love this because
Oh.
we're sort of seeing these
Maybe he
horizons.
killed
if you
Menendez?
keep playing that are flipping, and you see that first person.
Yes. So we really wanted to mess again with you're in his head, you're outside in viewing, and we did some really fun stuff where we were just first person, and now we're seeing him. And but I can say there's been some.
Yeah, where's this?
This is Japan.
Cool.
Yeah, and so we're super excited about this because Black Ops has never gone really deep into Japan.
Yeah.
and
First time.
yeah,
And we did. I remember when I first saw this, I was looking up the characters on some of the buildings. I was like, confirm those are Japanese. Okay, we're here.
Oh yes, yes.
It's amazing because I know how hard the team worked on
Oh, yes.
this particular
Yes.
piece.
Yeah. There is a team of people that care
So much. Yeah.
and they are pouring their heart and soul into this and everything else.
My fellow
it's
lore
exciting.
heads.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, so the other thing I want to call out here, which is awesome, is, and you heard it a little bit earlier, and I haven't heard much discourse on it a little bit, is this is when you start to hear more of the Nine Inch Nails song. There's a huge guitar
Oh, we heard.
riff here.
Oh, we heard.
We need
Yeah.
to talk about this.
We do need to talk
Yeah.
about it because there's significance.
But first of all, just want to say, sick song. Great song.
Yes.
Was so excited to hear Nine Inch Nails in this. But to your point, there was
There's layers.
there was a decision made to do this. and
intentional.
there's- yeah.
And I want to shout out to the team that worked on this. Is like that was a journey finding the right song that symbolizes what we want through the story. But also, and the second thing, which is really cool, is Trent Reznor created the main theme for Black Ops
Yeah.
2.
Way back.
And so
yeah.
this is a double beat for us where we could reuse a different song that has symbolism here, but then for the fans that know is he also helped us on BO2, and there's a nice
another
connection.
layer,
There's another
yeah.
layer, of purpose here. The other thing I want to talk about the whispers here.
BO2
is you're starting
type
to hear there's been
soundtracks.
discourse on this is I can tell you there's two voices, and one of them is David Mason, and the other one is Raul Menendez.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'll say is I'm not going to say who is talking. You have to figure that out. I will also tell you is they may not be talking to each other. They might be talking to themselves,
Yeah.
or they might be talking to other people, or they might be talking to
Or
each
they
other.
might be talking.
Now we're in this different section, and we're in the containers, and this was really key to us.
That's
because
what I
now
thought.
What this is
The
really
whole
representing
Black
is-
Ops like
this is
numbers
almost the
shit is just gonna be
manifestation
made
of war. And you'll start to hear
Menendez is
sounds
like
of gunfire, and there's helicopters, but
hacking
it's
thing
gruesome.
is
And it's
Cordis
nasty
dive
looking,
shit.
and that was intentional. Is again, as we're experiencing these and they feel very different, there's purpose behind them. The other thing I want to call it is why does he spin upside down, right? Why is he upside down? And the significance of that actually is his own truth and morality are flipped upside down now. And so the symbolism of him within war and being turned upside down is significant to who David is in this moment and how he's going to respond to the new threats in Black Ops 7.
That is a level of depth that
Yeah,
was
bro. I
not
don't think a lot of
prepared
people are
Yeah, it's
gonna.
deep.
to do
A lot of
this
people
podcast.
would not have
There's
known
been
any
some
of
really
that had
deep
this dude not came
conversations
out and
on
said
who
it.
David is and who we want players to feel like they are in the story as well. But again,
He's been through some
he's
stuff.
been through
Yeah.
a lot.
Been through a lot.
He's been through a lot.
And I think it seems to be grappling with
Oh, yes.
that either what's happened in his past, maybe what's coming.
Yeah. Yes.
How do you reconcile these things?
All of the above.
Yeah. Okay.
So we keep going, and we're in the containers, and this is a huge moment when it shuts to, and again, you hear the whispers. This is significant, right? Like fans have already picked up that this looks very much like the BO1 interrogation room.
Mm-hmm.
But what it represents may not be what people think. So when we think about this moment in Black Ops history, and also David with his father, Alex, who obviously didn't experience this, but might have heard about it from Uncle Woods, might have read CIA reports of what happened if he went back looking what happened to his father. Maybe his dad mentioned this when he was a kid. But the symbolism here, really, with the table and the monitors, is the loss of control. This symbolizes David's own loss of control as well, manifested through this imagery. Does he experience this through the story? How does it manifest? Like, there's tendrils back.
Bro, I'm actually hyped for a campaign, bro.
And then we see the butterfly again. I also love, you'll hear the laughing. That is Menendez laughing as the monitors turn on. He is very much taunting this sort of where we're at. And now the butterfly comes. And I want to pause here because I'm not sure if everyone picked up on is the piano you hear playing here, these little chord notes, are the BO2 theme song.
The original.
The original. And so
That's a
another
great
little
touch.
nod we wanted to add in because
I didn't hear that,
We're
man.
back to this BO2 moment in a sense, and we wanted to touch on that in some really fun ways.
Can we play the chords,
So
please?
We wanted to
No.
it feel really soft when the butterfly lands and you don't know what's going to happen. And so that if we play it, poor little butterfly then gets crushed. And then obviously we get up and this is our full reveal now. And the significance of Menendez's line to David here and where he is literally talking to him and is fear, right, is powerful. Fear and how it's used. And
I wonder if that's
weaponized,
real
but
Menendez or
also the
like
internal
I'm telling
fear
you, like
have
something that
in
he
these
like made
situations
after he
is
died.
integral to the story we've got.
Kinda like
And now they're
hallucinations.
face to face, and this is a huge moment. We wanted to really make him feel sinister because he is sinister. And Raul Menendez, you know, he is evil, right? If you think about what he did, obviously he thinks he's right. We really wanted to have the hatred come through.
Yeah.
When
Is
he
there a
says
Raul
it.
Menendez skin in
he's
BO6?
seething.
Or
He's
is
seething.
that?
Yeah, he hates Raul Menendez.
He
Serious?
seemingly, there is one reality in which at the end of BO2, he
Is alive.
is alive.
Yeah,
There's also one where he's not, maybe.
also
So-
correct.
We're not going to talk about which of those things is correct, but I guess my point is we don't know.
Yeah, we're so that's going to be a big part of the story, and I will say, and this goes back to our intentionality, is BO2 had branching storylines.
Mhm.
That was great for us and the fans, and that also gives us the fuel. Is how do we want to craft an interesting story that feels very Black Ops as well?
Hmm.
It also goes back to the previous note is when we launched in Prestige 1000 Samuels, who was from BO2,
Mm-hmm.
and people have picked up on this. We specifically put in his bio that he was with Harper, and so if people read that, they'll go, "Oh, Harper survives."
Harper
And
survived,
so
yeah.
there's some little things we're doing here and there. Now, of course, it's not gonna be straight down the middle. You're not gonna figure it all out.
I don't know,
but there's enough
Samuel's-
there to get you thinking about which ending is right or which ending could be crafted
Yeah.
from that as well. But yeah,
Because this is just the
exciting.
first step. We got a
Oh,
lot
there's a
more.
lot.
We got a long way to go.
There's a
a
lot.
lot more to
Teaser.
share.
I mean, it's already
Just
leaked.
a teaser,
Harper
not even a
lives,
trailer.
bro.
So, Miles, thank you for joining us.
It's been a lot of fun.
Mike
2
Rowe.
miles. Too much fun.
Yeah, it's great.
Too many
Yeah.
good things.
Thank you for having me. Happy to represent the team and all the work that they've done. And I hope all the fans out there really look at this and go back and watch it again and see.
I
What
do
you
feel
think. And
bad
we
when their
love the
shit
theories,
leaks,
we love
bro.
the Discord.
But you know what?
Keep
They
it
should just
coming.
throw out a
That
bunch
really
of
fuels the
bullshit
team.
to
And so
throw a
thank
lot of
you,
leaks out
and we
there so
cannot
people don't
wait
know which leak is
for
right.
the next thing you guys are gonna see.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, mate.
All right, if this is the BTS on finishing moves.
All right, today we've got some very special guests from Treyarch. We're pulling back the curtain on how some of the most intense cinematic and just plain epic Call of Duty moments are brought to life. Joining us are two of the people responsible for making you feel every reload, every takedown, and every operator sprint. And yes, they're also partly to blame for me getting slammed during the opening. Joining us are Phil Lozano, animation director at Treyarch, and Mikal Vega, performance capture director at Treyarch. Gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to the COD Pod.
We're so excited you're here. We have so many questions, but I would love to just kick things off by having you guys tell us a little bit about yourselves. How did you get into this?
Their
How
jobs
did,
might be
you
wild,
end
bro.
up at Treyarch, making Call of Duty, making on the stage, and sort of, just a little bit about yourselves.
When I was in school for animation, that's when I played the very first COD when it first came out on PC.
Yeah.
I ended up joining a clan at that time, and before esports was a thing, there was still tournaments that you were able to have that you just sign up and get in the league, and so that's kind of where I fell in love with Call of Duty, and so. Once I finally got into the
Fellow
industry,
GB tournament
I had an
grinder.
opportunity to work on COD 3, and that's kind of where I landed and been
This dude's been with
working
them
on
since
Call of Duty
Treyarch.
ever since.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love a LAN party. Love a LAN tournament.
Yeah, more of those, please. Awesome, Phil. Really cool.
For me, it was kind of one of those things I don't really know how I wound up here. Literally, I joined the Navy when I was 17 and, served for over 22 years and got out in 2012 and got into film and television as an actor, had some pretty good successes in that realm. I got invited to be the tech advisor for an NBC show and did that for a while, and then started moving into a directorial capacity and got to direct a couple of things, since then. And around 2019, I got approached to be a tech advisor for Call of Duty, and one thing led to another. I put together my team. I said, hey, let us put together a previs for you and we'll show you what we can do. And he's like, okay. And so we took about a week, I guess, came back to him with a sizzle reel, and he was like, hold on. He just leaves the screen. He comes back and he goes, do you want to direct these for us? And I go, well, how many are we talking here? And he goes, around 300. Let me make sure.
300.
Just 300. Yeah. I go, let me make sure I understand the ask here. You're asking me to direct it for a AAA title? And he goes, yes. And I go, yes.
Yeah.
Where do I sign?
And that was that. And
That
here
was-
we are
that
now.
was it.
So this guy does
But I
cinematics?
love that too, because I think what you said, authenticity, was what you were really looking for. And that I'm sure if you're like, that wouldn't fly out in the field, like, how do you bring that, how we bring that and represent it in the game?
That's a great point, because one of the things he brought up, talking to all the other tech advisors out there, to be successful in this, you have to understand that you're coming into somebody's vision, somebody's an IP that you're serving, right? With your talents. And you're
I was
gonna
about to say,
have
we're in
to
BO7,
find
bro.
where
It's
the
going to be
gears
futuristic. We can't
mesh,
really be
where
real.
The reality meshes with, the fictitious, the entertainment, is what I've found to be greatly successful.
Yeah, Mikal, it sounds like between your experience as a Navy SEAL and a combat veteran, but also as a director, I mean, did you bring a sort of certain style to set, a certain leadership or an energy?
Absolutely. Everything that I do is predicated upon teamwork that I've learned in the SEAL teams. It is. It's just everything. There are some very real one-to-one directly translatables to what we do. There's different departments. There's a whole organizational structure and all these types of things. So it's kind of like being a platoon chief where you're managing all those departments. Same type of thing. Managing stunts, managing casting, managing, all these
A lot of
different,
moving pieces,
a lot of different pieces.
personalities, all the things.
all the
yeah.
things.
So, Phil, one thing that I've been thinking a lot about is I don't know that, players, a lot of people that are, enjoying video games at home really understand how much work and craftsmanship goes into the motion capture process.
We're getting
from
into the
the
finishing
creative
moves.
to capturing to being on stage, the animation. Can you just take us through sort of the 30,000 foot overview, or a more general overview of what the steps in the process are like, and kind of how it all comes together in the end for us to experience at home?
Well, I mean, it all starts, I get all the information and then I sit down with Mikkel and go, okay, here's all the list of stuff that we're going to have for this season. And let's try and start thinking about stuff. And, we have one rehearsal day that Mikkel and his team come to the stage and they say, okay, this is kind of the theme we want. These are kind of the tools that we want to use for this. And so they kind of go away. They put some stuff together, show us, go, no, we don't like the way you beat each other up. Do it again, right? Beat each other up in a different way, right? Until we dial that in and get the shapes that we want, right?
We get the ideas. Phil and I talk about them. We get these quick bullet points on the shot list about what kind of the gag is going to be. And then I bring it into the team and they get 1 day of rehearsal and they take it over to this stage. There's 2 stages here. So they take it over to this stage, or they're in the corner of the other stage.
Once we get all that data, it comes back to the animation team and they start assembling it, making sure everything is constructed in the appropriate way, getting the camera set where they want, putting the props in where they need to, and eventually, through a slightly longer process, getting it working in game. So it goes through a lot of hands for us to kind of get there, right? From the planning stages with Mikkel and myself, to the actors on the stage, to the animators in the studio, getting all of that stuff done. And then, of course, doesn't stop with animation. Obviously, audio effects, all those other people
Art,
involved.
all the finishing kind of polish stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to mention, once you got to put it in game as well and make sure that all looks good and that's all clear and working, and then you animate that. Wow, it's a movie in a movie. My
It's a
gosh,
lot.
It's worth it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, it
Absolutely.
is, yeah.
Absolutely.
So I do want to talk about zombies a little bit, because just face value, that seems like something that's
What would they know about
pretty
zombies?
fun for you guys to
Actually,
motion
no, what
capture,
the
is,
hell? I was about to say
the
zombies.
reanimated undead. We actually got a look at a handful of them in the Black Ops 7 teaser that we were just talking about. So what is that like? I feel like maybe I could probably nail a zombie stunt. I don't know about the other stuff, but there's a lot of things in gameplay that can impact the zombies. So I'm sure you got to capture a variety of animations, when they're reacting to weapons, perks, all the things in the
Yeah.
world. Yeah.
Thousands.
Thousands.
I can't believe these
Okay.
guys know what that stuff
And
is.
we
bro.
get a lot of help from that from, again, the animation team who's working on that. So they're generally the ones starting the concepts of, like, hey, I'd like it to do this or do all these things. So it's really because of them, that really helps give us the information we need to shoot it on stage.
But that is so zombies too, like exactly what you're saying. It's that mix of like really fun and awesome combat, and I would think creatively is like just kind of a different step change for you when you come from recording a bunch of MP capture, for example, or something like that. Just like a little fresh
There's more
air.
characters.
Yeah.
There's these iconic characters that are in the zombie world that our fan base absolutely loves, and to be able to be a part of that.
Bro knows about Tank and Richtofen.
Yeah. Shout out to the zombies fans.
Yup.
They always show up for the pod, so we love you.
Shout out us,
we
bro.
do.
I've got another question that we
Shout out us, bruh.
had from the community, and this specific question is about what was it like to animate the pre-boss sequence for Shattered Veil.
Directing that cinematic was a blast, by the way.
Yeah, talk
Like,
about
there
that.
was so much action in that. So the team did a great job. They get into the vehicle, and then through camera trickery, we
Oh,
create a
what?
previs of this thing, and everybody's inside acting like they're upside down. Like we built it out of like apple boxes.
Yeah.
Like that's that's one
What?
piece. But then when it impacts and Richtofen gets flung out of the vehicle, that's a completely different build that you have to do. And then it's like everything has to be pieced together by the animation team. It's an incredible like endeavor to
Bro, that's
see
kind of
the
crazy,
puzzle
chat.
pieces in the mind's eye, dependent upon what the animator's needs are. So the
Right.
relationship between whomever's the animator on set is just absolutely critical to answering those technical questions. And like, otherwise, I'm just flying kind of blind, and then they have to deal with what they get, you know, versus having a high quality asset for them to piece together.
Comes back to teamwork, and you really have to work
Absolutely.
together really well. Wow,
Absolutely.
fantastic.
So I want to talk more about a couple specific.
You better give us some beast
examples,
cutscenes
to
and-
hear you guys kind of tell the story behind this. The wrestling moves. When we talk about finishing moves, tell us a little bit about how those came together.
Yeah, so they wanted to do a luchador, and you know that really just takes me back. You know, as a kid, I really loved
I'm
watching
dead
that
as
stuff.
fuck.
I even have my own little wrestling mask as a kid, and so
I keep telling them not wear it to work.
Yeah.
I know. I was just like, I expected you more
That's
to the
true,
shoot,
man.
but come on.
Well, but no, I mean, I think one of the reasons why I think that this one is really cool is because just like real wrestling, right? They have to make sure that they're like working together in tandem perfectly so they don't get seriously injured. And so having to do some of these moves that they did, it's fun to watch, but also, like I said, the work involved to make sure it looks good, but everyone is safe. It's really amazing.
Our stunt team comes from like AAA films and
Yeah.
like, you know, all these major Marvel IPs, and that's the level of talent we have pulling these off.
So one of the other finishing moves that I wanted to talk to you guys about, because I think it might be one that you both really enjoyed, is launch sequence.
Yeah.
And this one was complex for maybe different reasons.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really look that complex when you look at it in the end game. It's just a person coming up, hooking a RPG up, and then launching the person out. However, we actually ejected that person out of his boots here on the stage. So,
What?
so that took a lot of rigging.
What?
We had a stunt coordinator standing by, a set medic standing by. We had 3 riggers involved in that. There's the rig you see in the video. It's coming up off of each side, and you have a center line to keep them from turning. You know, because
Right.
when you're hanging by lines, like you're going to twist and turn. So we have people controlling all of that. So it takes a lot, because Phil wanted to have more of a movement coming off the ground, because to fill up the space. You know, so
There's no way it couldn't be fun. There's just no way. It has to be fun.
it's so much.
Now
Fun.
we love it.
It's so much fun.
Well, and you feel that. I think that energy and that you guys have a good time with it when we see them in game.
Yeah.
It translates, and that's what is so cool about the
That's so
process.
crazy how much effort it
wanna
is to make
know
some finishing moves.
If either of you have favorites, for, let's say from Black
Mm.
Ops 6, some finishing moves that stand out to you that were
I don't have any off the top of my
super
head,
fun to
Brad.
work on.
The ones I think about
You
are
know,
probably
maybe something,
MW3.
one that was particularly challenging for you to direct and really feel like you nailed it. Just any stories you want to share.
Thinking off the top of my head, I think we have stuff that it also involves the animators getting really involved in terms of when we do pets, right, or animals. in our
Oh,
finishing
yeah.
moves.
They got the new
So,
Hellhound
the
one.
Unicorn is my
You guys
Oh,
got
I
a
forgot
real
about
unicorn
that.
for that, right?
favorite. We can't really confirm or deny if we've been able to procure a real life unicorn, but yeah, I mean, but I think that's really shows how much fun we like to have here, right? Is that well, what do we do? How
Bro,
do
that's so
we,
crazy. These guys, that's like some
kill
people's
you,
jobs,
right,
bro.
with a unicorn, and the obvious is, oh, we just go with the horn, right? But it was like, no, let's have a little bit more fun with it, right?
That was a really fun one. We actually put out some questions to the community about, what do they want to ask you guys? We did get some questions when it comes to the Mastercraft, weapon inspects. Those, I think in particular, have been a big hit with the internet, and watching all of those animations and seeing a couple of them go viral has been really fun. How does that work? Because some of those are really zany and
Yeah.
creative.
Well, I mean, it starts with the artist when they come up with the ideas and go, hey, this is something we want to do, and they kind of bring the animators in, and we start to kind of spitball on like, all right, so what if it did this, or do this, and one of the fun things about the animators.
I know
is
that guy's not
they,
doing
they,
that.
They like to have competition between each other in terms because they all have weapons that they work on.
Fringe
for,
chat.
The master crafts, and so they just
I'm
want to
so
come up with
sad,
really cool stuff.
bruh. They got
But yeah, I mean,
Fringe
we really
earlier,
let
bruh.
the animators and
W
artists,
Mastercraft, by the way.
be as creative as they want and see what fun we can create.
Last up, though, Chew This. Very different in terms of,
A different vibe.
a very different vibe as a finishing move. Can you explain that one to us?
Yeah, so I think this is like as Mikhail's mentioned in the past, where he's very focused on like getting that the fight sequencing and all that sort of stuff. Where I tend to have like a little bit more humorous side to these things and want to see how we can kind of inject some funniness into some of the things that we have if it lends itself to that, right? And so just go ahead and kill the guy you're going after right off the bat, but you give him a gobble gum which brings him back to life, and as he comes back to life, not realizing what's going on, you get to kill him again. So it's having those little fun moments.
Bro, what? He gave
it's
him
not
fucking
like
Phoenix up?
the
Self-medic?
action of it is very complicated, but the story is still pretty cool and fun to watch.
Yeah, I love those that there's always a reason. That when you're thinking about it from a creative standpoint, you want to kind of have that little snippet of the story of like, okay, well, why, and then how.
It's
and
critical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems like
Yeah.
that's what makes a lot of these sing, which is really fun.
It's really cool hearing you say that because that is absolutely what we try to do. Is what's the story in this one?
Guys, thanks again for taking us into the village, opening the gates and letting us see and hear all these fantastic stories. Absolutely love what the team do, and it's a wonderful, wonderful place to work, and clearly you're having a lot of fun. And it's amazing to see just how hands-on everything is in this place.
Yeah. Well, if you want to check out Hands On, we could put you in some rigging.
Yes, please. You might feel some uncomfort in some certain areas.
Mark?
All right. So we're here at the mocap stage. You ever been in the suit before?
First time in the suit. It's snug.
I feel like I was born in this suit, and I'm ready to do whatever it takes.
You ready to
so
get to
ready.
it?
Ready. Ready and willing. Able? Don't know.
We're gonna find
We'll
out.
find out real quick.
We're gonna find out. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna run you through what's called a ROM, range of motion. That's the gag.
Oh my God, I'm so small.
Whoa!
I'm having a blast.
Okay, so what we're about to do now is gonna get you up in the air. This is a spreader bar.
A what?
A spreader bar. And we already got some shackles hooked up to you.
Spreader bar, shackles.
3, 2,
Whoop.
1.
Oh, we up.
I'm
So
locked.
you can start to play around in your new world. You're faster than Phelps right now.
Do you want me to fly you?
There you go.
Wow. Wow, that was so different.
Little tornado of terror.
Freestyle. Guys, I thought I was maybe gonna audition for a job, but I don't think it's gonna work.
I can do this for a few more minutes.
Yeah.
Best
They
ever.
should have the best thing for this like little segment would have been if they actually put in a bundle for
So
them
season 4
messing around
Reloaded
in the
is going to
pod.
be here before you.
Even if it wasn't like
We
them.
just wanted to jump in.
Like the
talk about
emotes,
the
COD
new
pod,
coming to Blackout
COD
6
pod
and
bundle.
Warzone.
Give some
with
good
that update
rewards and then just
around the
include
corner.
emotes
As
that they
always,
did right
stay
here, and it would have
tuned
sold,
for
bro.
the full roadmap and the dedicated
And like
blog
BO7 themed
coming soon
operator or
for all
something
the
with like
details.
BO7
But
themed.
here's a quick preview of season 4 Reloaded.
First off, in
I feel like you can
multiplayer,
market
an
shit
absolute
so much,
classic
bro.
from 2010 coming back. One in the Chamber recently went live. Get the gang and dive into one of the more memorable and absolute fan favorite party games of the Black Ops world.
We're also going to have the Rivals event starting on June 19th, and you're definitely going to want to check this one out because there's some really great event rewards, including the Grim Reaper score streak and the new
personally don't
3-round
really
burst
care about
attachment for the Strider 22.
Oh, I like that
Earn
though.
those, check it out.
I love a burst. weapon.
B323R.
It's 3-round best. Looking ahead to Season 4 Reloaded Eclipse, which is a fun nightclub theme map, and Fringe, a BO3 remake. Again, you knew that. If you're listening,
Classic.
if
This
you're
time-
listening to the COD Pod, you're already a die-hard COD fan. Let's be real. So Fringe coming back really, really fun.
Yeah.
Love
Nerd.
that one.
Yep, yep, yep.
BO3.
He's
Yeah,
not
truly,
wrong.
truly. But again, this time I think it's a whiskey distillery. now.
I know bro's not saying it, but it's a little too late though.
But outside of the Rivals event,
A
we
little
got
earlier would've been
new
nice.
events
Whisper to your
coming
little
to
coworker,
Season
tell her,
4
Brad.
Reloaded,
Tell her, hey,
including
let's put
our
these
next
good
challenge
maps,
event
honey.
with a new weapon camo mastery reward.
What?
We know folks have been talking about this, so you can earn that weapon camo as the mastery reward. And if you own Black Cell, you actually have the opportunity to get 2 camos. So
What?
look out for
That's
that.
the way it goes. As far as
Oh, wait,
Warzone
wait.
news
That might be like
Essential
the
Destroy contract is coming
event-
to BR,
event
Resurgence,
camo.
and Plunder. The hand cannon kill streak is going to be there as well, so now you can literally blow your opponents away.
Ooh,
with
so
one of my
they're
favorite
adding it.
handguns in COD history.
They're adding
For
it to all the
Zombies
modes.
in Season 4 Reloaded, we've had some pretty game-changing updates for Grief, and Treyarch is definitely committed to constantly improving the experience, focused on making the matches more
Word.
intense by limiting salvage and support items, and having zombies do more damage. The team has all sorts of updates that they're still cooking up, so hopefully more to share. But I mentioned the Rivals event starting on June 19th, and there's going to be some event rewards in there for Zombies players as well, including the Grim Reaper support weapon
Damn.
and also the Shatter Blast ammo mod. So definitely going to want to earn those as well. Also coming to Season 4 Reloaded, we have the King of the Dead, and last but not least, the Abomination Challenge and Starting Room limited time modes coming to Zombies.
Ah, we need a new map.
So lots to look forward to, both there and beyond.
Loads to look forward to, but there is actually one more thing. Obviously, Grief has been the star of the show for Season 4, but Steph, we want more.
They're gonna
Where's
announce
the next
new
map
map.
dropping?
There you go.
I am so happy that I can confirm that the finale of the Black Ops 6 Zombies story, including the new map, will launch at Season 5. We've been building towards this.
At the
map is
beginning or
awesome.
mid-season?
I'm not allowed to say anything more than
Boo.
that, other than it's coming at the launch of Season 5.
Janice
It's
Towers,
the
chat.
conclusion.
Season 5.
We do know that, Zombies is part of Black Ops 7. We got a little taste of some zombies just at the end of the official teaser there. So lots to be excited about. Definitely pay attention to, what's ahead in Season 5.
It's that time again, folks. We've got the community mailbag. We try to answer some of your burning questions. Yes, even some of those.
Oh, we only got
fastballs. And boy,
6
they
minutes,
fast.
chat.
First question, and there's no easy way of saying this except for what was the deal with all the bugs at the launch of Season 4?
Oh,
So we said we were
they
gonna
really
answer the
pick that
hard
answer.
questions too. I will just start this one by saying that we play our games too, and we know that when there are bugs or issues present in the game, we know that.
I don't know if the
that is
community gonna believe that
frustrating.
shit. I'm keeping
And,
bucks. I don't know.
Since then we've been focused.
Obviously,
on
though, they're gonna learn their
patching
lesson because even
and
if they do
updating
play
a
it or they
number of
don't,
those
they heard
issues.
people bitching, bro.
You can always find the latest information on COD updates.
It was
or
crazy,
on our
bro. 2 weeks,
boards.
black screen.
But since then,
Game
we've made
closed,
some
app
pretty
crashes.
big changes with
Um,
the singular intent.
Apparently, people were
to
taking your IP
deliver
and hacking your PC.
smoother
I don't know how real that was,
experience
but
across
they
our
heard.
seasonal updates going forward.
I'm going to try my luck with some Black Ops 7 questions here. This one coming in from
So,
Miles
she
the
just
Ross.
said that
We
they
saw
won't
a
do it
frame,
again.
Steph, in the official teaser trailer of some players using wingsuits. Is that what I thought it was?
Let's get into this one. So this frame in particular, which is actually the
Blackout
shot
2.
of the co-op campaign.
Oh, not Blackout
in
2.
Black Ops 7.
L,
wingsuits
bruh.
and all. So
L.
what you're seeing
Blackout
here
2.
is in fact Avalon, which players may have heard
That
of
should have been
in Black Ops
Blackout 2.
6.
Actually, no, it should have been,
And
it should have been,
there's gonna
sorry,
be a lot
New
to talk
Warzone map.
about later this summer.
Jeez.
All right, well, we'll wrap up with another question about Black Ops 7 because I got one out of you. I figured, why not? I'll try
Oh
again.
yeah, press your luck.
Another one.
If the rumors are to be believed, some people think that wall running and jetpacks might be coming to Black Ops 7. What can you tell us about movement in this game?
So first off, I would say that this is just the beginning. So to be talking about movement when we haven't even seen too much of the game yet, very early. But
It's a yes or no
people
question.
are excited, and we're going to be sharing a lot more details later this summer.
Wall
What
running?
I will say about the setting of this game is that it's 2035, right? Which means this is 30 years before Black Ops 3 and 10 years after Black Ops 2. So it certainly has some big ties to BO2 as a result of that. But I can confirm no wall running.
Ah,
no
bruh.
But it will feature an evolution of Omni movement. Boom, there you go. Zip. Stay
What would
tuned.
be the evolution
That
though?
one shut me up real good. I
What
really
would be
thought I
the
had that one on,
double
I was-
jump?
I thought I had
Just
that one
double
on the back.
I was
jump? That's
kicking
it?
under the desk.
Yeah, I was.
Wall
That
kicking?
was a good one.
Are they gonna
Okay,
call
well,
it
last one,
wall
a,
kicking?
one fan wrote in and said,
Are
"Hi,
they lying?
I have no questions, but I wanted to say that I love Adler."
I also love Adler,
Mm.
and I was just thinking that it was
I'm
just
dead as
Father's
fuck.
Day, so I want to shout out to all the dadlers out there.
All the dadlers.
Thank you. Happy Dadlers Day.
Remember, you can join the conversation by using #CodPod.
What
on
would
social
they
media,
evolutionize
social media,
Omni
thoughts,
movement
something
for?
cool like fan art or projects, anything you want to share like that. We would love to see it here on the pod.
We covered a lot today, and I'm a little sore, and there's definitely an ice pack and maybe some non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs in my future. However, I just want to say a really big thank you, especially if you've made it this far in the pod this episode. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We started COD Pod about a year ago, 6 episodes ago, with the idea to
6
build
episodes in a year?
a new way for us to engage with the community. We want to talk to you. We want to
Hey,
be part of the
W COD
conversation.
Pod, bro.
And with all new ideas,
W
there was
COD Pod.
something a little
Idea was
scary
really
and
good.
exciting and fun and challenging about that. But we're really proud of the 6 episodes we've done. And I'm very excited to say we'll be back for more. So our season 2, we'll be back with more episodes. Thank you for all
So
of the
season 1's
comments, all
over.
of the stories, all of the feedback.
Season
Please
2 is
keep
either
it
gonna
coming.
start
Thanks again
with the
for
next
being
teaser
here.
of
Thank you to
BO6
our
or
amazing
BO7
crew.
or after
And now to
BO7's
leave
out.
you with some of the best moments of season 1 that you definitely didn't see or hear.
All right, starting from the top.
Take 1, control in 1 take.
They got Mr. Dalek there?
Hello and good evening. COD Pod, the official Call of Duty podcast. My name is Miles Ross.
Je m'appelle Stephanie.
Did you grab one of Abby's udders?
Oh,
That's a wildly personal question. Wow.
But I did.
this is the
I didn't even know Dalek was on it, bruh.
blooper.
Alright, bruh. I'm gonna let it play out, bruh.
Was that a zombie?
Welcome to Pod, Miles.
Kevin.
I don't know, chat. They said evolution of Omni. We got one more map confirmed season 4. Or season 5, sorry.
Amazing crew behind
They didn't really say at the beginning or the mid-season, so who knows. Season 5's rumored on Twitter, I think August. I think at first it was July. And they said that in the files they changed the date, so it's looking like August now. So season 5 as a whole got delayed. But it also makes sense because imagine if season 5 would have came out in July. Zombie map comes out. Let's just say beginning of July, if not mid-season, would probably be August. And then we still gotta wait till November for a whole new game. But then again, I don't remember how long. Like, is that the norm? You don't get content for like 3 months, and then a new game comes out. I don't know. I feel like we still had events like right before BO6 came out for MW3, but I could be wrong, bruh. But this year is like, well, we got draws in the cut, bruh. If you know, you know, chat. If you know, you know. Go back one.
Establishing Black Ops 6.
But yeah, I don't know, man. We got that announced. What else did they say, bro? That was crazy stuff. He was talking a lot about the campaign. Nothing really for multiplayer. He was saying there's Easter eggs still hidden in the teaser. I'm assuming a lot of them still has to do with campaign. Anything that's multiplayer related, I feel like the community would have seen, because even like with the dissections we did, man, I don't know. And then they confirmed no wall running, no jetpack. So I don't know. I don't know how it would work. Maybe a barrel roll. Nah, but that would be useless, no chat, over a dolphin dive. It'll probably just be maybe more like polished, no, the Omni movement. Oh, well, I guess they basically confirmed the Omni movement is in the next game, right? Evolution to Omni. So Omni again in BO7. So yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Cool little calm little pod. Mostly about the finishing move. Actually, no, it was a fair amount of everything.
Obviously, the big thing is there's a butterfly.
I was just about to say something, Chad. They were saying that the rewards for Master Prestige still have some teasers for the game, so we got to look into that. I'm level 900. I should get to grinding. I haven't been really on COD that much lately. my mind's just been all over the place, but definitely gonna get to the level 1000 rewards soon. So stay tuned for those streams. I'm gonna pop hella double XPs. Only have like 98 more levels to go, and catch you on the next vid.